All right, we're going to do 9mm versus 38 special, and what I have today is compact guns, such as this 4-inch Ruger Security 9 versus this 3-inch Taurus 856 versus subcompact or micro compact, our 3-inch Diamondback DB9, our 2-inch Taurus 605. You know, we have a 3-inch barrel, a 2-inch barrel, a 4-inch barrel, a 3-inch barrel. So pretty much our autos are an inch longer, but with a revolver we don't measure that chamber, so we get really close to the same barrel travel in that gun, and the overall size of the guns is pretty comparable. So what we have for our 9mm is a 115 grain jacket, a hollow point Remington HTP, and for our 38 special we have a 158 grain lead hollow point plus P. It's kind of like an FBI load. I get a lot of flack for this. Why are you using plus P for 38 and not 9? Well, that's how it comes. And that's how it comes a lot of the time. And also, using plus P and little guns like this, not necessarily the best idea. But we're gonna do a ballistic test on this, and we're gonna see really how something generic like this compares to each other. So we're gonna go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time. Then I'm gonna do my 10% clear ballistic test. We have 4 layers of denim, followed by 3 inches of clear ballistics to represent hitting a pectoral muscle, followed by a 1/4 inch MDF to represent hitting ribs or sternum, and 2 more clear ballistics. I'm gonna do a shot. Every shot I do, I'm gonna leave this MDF in here to represent our ribs and sternum, because I'm gonna be putting 4 rounds in this block. I don't want to like intersect paths and stuff like that, and this is kind of more legitimate in my opinion to have something hard. You know, this stuff, while it represents average tissue, it really doesn't represent bone very well. So we're gonna see what we get for our ballistic performance, and I'm gonna shoot from 25 yards to see what kind of overall practical accuracy I can get with these rounds. So let's get started with this test. All right, first up, I'm going to start off with the 9mm through our 4-inch and our 3-inch barrel. I don't know what kind of rate of velocity this has. It doesn't say in the box. So let's see if we get through our 4-inch barrel here. 1174, 1181, 1129, 1133, 1176. Not necessarily consistent, very consistent for a 9mm. 3-inch barrel. Let's see what we get. 1116, 1118, 1105. Spit out a live round there. 1073. We're not in battery. Now we are. But anyway, so we can definitely see we have a little bit of velocity drop. Let's see what we get with our 38 special. All right, 38 special. It is a 158 grain, so just keep in mind, even if it did have the same power, you know, it's going to be moving slower. But let's see what we get with our 3-inch barrel, 158 grain. 844, 885. Gun didn't rotate. Yeah, this Taurus is not rotating. 863, 878, 881. So maybe at this point I'll send this junk back to Taurus. Let's see if we get in our 2-inch barrel. 838, 832, 829. 806, 833. So, you know, this gun likes that ammo a little bit better, more consistent, and just more reliable. Let's hit our ballistics gel box, see what we get with these rounds. All right, I'm going to start off with our 9mm. Do a 4-inch barrel, and I'm going to switch on to the 3-inch barrel. For our MDF. 3-inch barrel. Let's go take a look. All right, I find this kind of interesting here with our 4-inch barrel. You know, we have a lot more damage in there, and we went to about 18 and a half, which would be about 20 and a half without this MDF. This is interesting here because here's a 4-inch barrel. We didn't get a whole lot going on there, but through our 3-inch barrel, it seems like it expanded right away. And we didn't get as much damage in that gel, and we didn't go as far. We're at 15 inches, which would kind of be like 17 inches without the MDF. Just really interesting performance because it's kind of backwards of what I normally see. Now the damage is not backwards. Generally, if it's going faster, we're going to get more damage in that gel like we're seeing there. But, you know, I never see this where that's reversed like that. So let's try a 38 special, see how that compares. All right, 38 special lead hollow point. We'll do the same thing. And that was Taurus trigger. I've tried to explain this 1,000 times. I go to pull that trigger, my skin gets hooked behind this trigger, which only happens with Taurus, no other revolver. And it sends that shot inches and inches of feet high. It's really weird phenomenon. Let me run it again. All right, I'll go single action because there's just no way to shoot this appropriately unless you have super skinny fingers. All right, and here's our 2-inch barrel. All right. So what's interesting here is we didn't get expansion with either of these. I'm not really seeing a significant difference here. This top one, which is I believe is our 3-inch barrel, is at 14 inches. Our bottom one here is at about, or damage past about 13 and a half inches. So there's not any expansion on there, but there's good damage. It's really hard to decipher what we're seeing here. There's our first shot here, and now I'm kind of seeing what's going on. This is another reason why I like using the MDF. What we're seeing here is after hitting those first 3 inches of clear ballistics, what we're seeing is this is going to be tumbling here. So even though we didn't get expansion, what we're seeing here is this is going to be going through like this. This is actually going to do as much damage or more damage than a hollow point because, you know, that's the width of it going through. So didn't leave much permanent damage in there except for like right here. But yeah, interesting overall. Let's shoot from that 25 yards, see what we can get with these guns. Before I move on, I wanted to kind of show the Taurus trigger issue here. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I have these, they're both clear, pulled back. There's essentially no space between the frame and the rear trigger pull. On a gun like my Ruger LCR that I do carry, there's a good amount of space there. So it doesn't matter how far I put my finger back on that, it's going to pull through with no issues. With our Taurus here, you know, if I keep my finger straight or do something weird, it'll fire fine. But if I hook it back, which, you know, it's unintentional, but it's going to happen, especially when you're in a defensive situation. It stopped. It stopped. And then it pinches my finger and it'll go through. But a lot of times what'll happen is it'll stop. And then I'll think in my mind, I'm not going to pull that shot. I'm going to let off the trigger. And what happens is the second that skin pops out from that crevice, it causes the trigger to come through because that pressure of my skin right there that's all folding down, once that comes out, the current position of my trigger finger is already at that position where it's far enough back for it to fire. See, it's pinched in there. I'm not going to fire it, and once it comes out, it goes right off. So that's one reason why I don't carry these Tauruses. I just use them for ballistic testing. So let's do some practical accuracy from 25 yards. All right, 25 yards. I'm going to start up with our 9mm. See how this will shoot. 4-inch barrel. All right, not too bad. 3-inch barrel. All right, my hand is not comparable to this gun. the amount it takes to get control so it doesn't recoil means I can't pull the trigger effectively without it, like, my fingers all touching themselves, and I can't pull it. And when I back my fingers off enough to, it's going to clear all that, the recoil snaps it up. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's try the 38 Special now. All right, 38 Special. I have one less round because that Taurus trigger issue there. But I'll see what I can do with this gun. You know, I've had such issues with this gun, it needs to go back. I'm just going to see if I get some headshots at this to see what'll happen in single action. It's not even rotating when I go in single action. So to try for a headshot, I'm going to aim directly on it with these sights. Not going to compensate anything here. Alright. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the Taurus 605 here. I'm going to hold right on that headshot area. No compensation. That was me. That was me too. Just going over the top a little bit. Now there's nothing wrong with the 605 other than it comes loose a lot. All the parts on it come loose, but it's been a pretty good revolver. I've had to replace the screw here, completely sheared off. I put a Smith & Wesson one in there because I could never get a hold of Taurus because it was like 2020. And this right here comes loose. Our ejector rod always comes loose. Overall, it's been a pretty good gun, even with 357 mag. The Taurus 856 is garbage. And that Diamondback DB9 is garbage. But you know, this is kind of what I've seen a lot of the time across the board is 9mm is one of the best semi-automatic pistol cartridges. When you go small, there's a lot of issues that come up. Even in the G2C, which is heavier and double stack, there's just some issues that come up. With Revolver, it doesn't matter if it's 8-inch, a 6-inch, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.9 inch. They seem to always be reliable, and always, except for issues like with that 856, be point of aim and impact. So that's what you get today. So, you know, compact versus subcompact and micro compact. A lot of people are going to say 9mm wins always, and maybe, but across the board with just junk ammo, 38 snub kind of does better than a micro compact 9mm in my opinion. Now we go to like 3-inch, 4-inch barrels. Doesn't necessarily make sense to take up the real estate to carry, like, let's just say I want to carry my 4-inch 686 versus my 5-inch M&P. It doesn't make sense to take up that much real estate, even for 6 shots of 357 mag. But you know, 18 shots of 9mm plus P plus, that makes sense. So that's what you get today. Little opinion there. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.